Good morning. Good morning. You're having coffee with Miss Coco. I'm here. I'm here with you. Do you have your coffee? What are you drinking on today? Don't switch it up on me now. I don't want you drinking nothing else. You can drink what you want to drink. Some of you might drink tea. Some of you might have a particular juice you want to drink in the morning. But you know the basis over here in the morning is coffee. Every now and then I might switch it up and have some tea, but for the most part, I'm doing the coffee. What's the coffee that you drink on, Jess? Bustelo. That's the coffee I drink. Bustelo Supreme Espresso. And when I can't find that can of coffee, I just get the regular Bustelo. They have the yellow and black can. That's the can that I prefer. And then they have the yellow can that does not have the black on it. And when like I said, when I can't get the espresso, I get the Bustelo. But that's what I'm drinking on, Bustelo Cafe. I'm just trying to get my life together. I wish I could say I have it all figured out, but I don't at all. A lot of things don't make sense to me. I'm trying to get my life in balance. But one thing I'm working on right now is to just do me. And to not worry about what people think. So if doing me is helping myself, if doing me is helping others, if doing me is telling people what I think, then that's what I'm going to do, because I can't worry about what people think all day, all the time. Because at the end of the day, they're doing what they need to do. At the end of the day, they have a job. At the end of the day, they have their family, their kids, the goals that they're knocking out of the park. They have the things that they want to pursue. And their life is together. And if it's not together, they're figuring it out. So I have to do the same thing. I have to do me. I have to do what's best for me. And there are people in my world, in my life, they may mean well, they may have good intentions. Some do, some don't. But regardless of the fact, I have to always have good intentions for me. I have to always do what is best for me. I can get advice, but at the end of the day, I have to figure out if the advice that I'm receiving from others or whatever source that may be, I have to figure out and know and make the best decision at the end of the day for me, if I'm going to take that advice or take my own advice and do what I feel I need to do. I'm heedful of a lot of people. I'm heedful of a lot of things. But I can't say this enough. You can't worry about, well, I'm just going to take the advice that they gave me anyway, because even though I don't really know how I feel about it, I'm just going to take that advice anyway, because I don't want to hurt that person's feelings because they didn't have to give me the advice in the first place. Okay, that sounds nice to think that way, but at the end of the day, that person's life is their life. What are you going to do with your life? Yes, they gave you the advice, but again, Are you going to take the advice because it's good for you, because it's resourceful to you, because it will put you where you need to go if you apply that information, or you just simply taking the advice because you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings when your mind is in shambles, when you're all over the place, when you don't know what to feel, when you don't know how to think? The approval of others. That's what you're so much focused on. But if you would have used that same energy and that same thinking and feeling behind, what do I feel I need to do? What do I think I need to do? Well, I'm going to take this advice, or I'm not going to take this advice, or I'm going to go to that place, or I'm not going to go to this place because I don't think this would be best for me, or I do think that this would be best for me, so I'm going to do that. Yes, you might have asked for the advice, but if it doesn't suit you well, and you know, not even having a no within you have the common sense, even though you don't know how to figure out your life right now, you know that taking some advice would just put you in a worse off situation. A lot of people have good intentions when they talk to you, when they help you out, but some don't. And maybe they'll come off like they have good intentions, but they're not really trying to look out for you. They just want to see you fail, and then when you want to fail, they want to speak up and say, see there, I tried to give just support, but she didn't listen. What if you would have took some advice that you know was bad, but you just took the advice because you didn't want to hurt someone's feelings, and now you're in a worse off, more dire, desperate situation because you took the advice, not only because it was bad advice, but because you cared more about appealing and catering to someone else's feelings than being logical when it comes to yourself, about taking care of yourself, loving yourself, and doing what you need to do on what you feel is best for you. So that's just something that you should take in consideration. Yeah, a lot of people mean well, some don't, but at the end of the day, you have to always do what's best for you. You have to. You have to always do what's best for you. That's not being selfish. You have to fill your cup up first, because if you keep pouring your cup out to everybody else, then at the end of the day, when you're in thirst, when you're in need, when you need to be hydrated mentally, spiritually, physically, for yourself, you're not going to have anything left in that cup to pour within yourself. At the end of the day, you're going to be empty. And then the people who are not for you, that you've been given to and given to and given to, they're going to say you don't have anything. And then you're going to say, well, I didn't have anything because I gave it all to you, and now I don't have anything for myself. And you could sit up there all day and you can blame it on them about how it's their fault, how they took. You can say all they do is take. But what did you give to yourself while you were giving to others? You were giving out to people, but did you save any money for yourself? You were giving people ideas and advice, but did you have any backup plans when it came to your own goals and the business plans that you wanted to do when you were trying to pursue certain dreams? You were giving people rides and work. You were giving people rides to work, but you were going to a job every day that made you miserable, and they were getting promotions, and you were still working every day, not having time for yourself, still trying to figure out how you were going to have your bills paid even though you worked every day. Because why? Why were you doing that? Why was I doing that? Because approval. You wanted approval. You wanted your fix. You wanted somebody to tell you you were doing good. Because you couldn't look inside yourself and see the good inside of you to see if you were doing good for yourself. You didn't have enough confidence or the know-how or the things that you needed to be back behind you to let you know that you were doing good. You had to hear it from everybody else all the time. You shouldn't be looking for people to tell you, are you smart? Are you intelligent? Do you have a brilliant mind? You should be able to wake up in the morning and say that I am smart. I am intelligent. I have common sense. I have knowledge. I have a brilliant mind. I can do anything that I put my mind up to. You shouldn't be waiting for some phone call or some like or some double tap on the heart to tell you that you did something well. You should already know that for yourself. Even if nobody were to tell you, even if none of those things when it comes to social media existed, there should be something inside of you that gives you that self-esteem, that gives you confidence, that gives you the dopamine hit to know that you're worthy, that you're smart. You shouldn't have to be with another man or be in a relationship to wake up every morning and say or feel or think that you're beautiful, that you're gorgeous. You shouldn't have to depend on your friends or a man or a woman to tell you you're handsome, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. You should be able to wake up out of bed and already know that. You should be able to look in the mirror when you go brush your teeth, whether you have a bonnet on or whether your hair is done or not, to know that you're phenomenally, fearfully, and wonderfully made. And no, you're not perfect. Everything that may not look right on you photogenically, but you're perfect. You're perfect in his weakness. You're perfect in your flaws. Because there's so many things that may not be perfect, but they're so good about you because nobody else has them but you. Nobody could wear that little mole like you. Nobody could wear even your wrinkles like you. Nobody could wear your body like you. Nobody could wear your hair like you. You may not be what people see on a magazine or TV, but do what you can to just make it work. Just take care of yourself the best way you can. Do what you feel is best for you. Well, just my hair not up to par. I don't really have no edges. I'm suffering from alopecia. Okay, you don't want to go outside because you got traction alopecia. Well, wig. Well, wig. My hair does not grow past a certain length. I don't know why. I wear wigs. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not finna let anybody who has hair, long hair, short hair, real hair, no hair, natural hair, relaxed hair, whatever. You don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. That it doesn't make me any less black. It doesn't make me feel like I don't love myself because I don't want to go outside and wear short hair every day. Well, you don't want to accept yourself, but you're telling people to accept themselves when it comes to their flaws. Whatever. Do what you feel best for you. Do what you have to do. Would you want to go into a job interview and you have traction alopecia or no edges or whatever, your hair is not up to par for a workplace environment, you want the employer or your boss to just focus on that all day rather than focus on your skills. They're not there trying to be your Coach Carter. They're not there trying to lift you up and say despite of. You're trying to be the best you. And sometimes, yes, you do. You do have to conceal certain things in certain places. It's a time and place for everything. So if a person likes wearing wigs, if a person likes wearing weave, if a person like wearing locks, if they like wearing an afro, if they like wearing a natural hair, whatever, it is what it is. As long as they have good morals, as long as they're a good person at the end of the day, as long as they try to be the best person that they can be, physically, mentally, spiritually, as long as they show up every day and do their job, all those things, you get where I'm going. Why do you care so much that they don't wear natural hair? Because you wear natural hair. Or you wear your real hair, but they wear weave or extensions or whatever you want to call it, or wigs. Is it because you maybe want to do that, but you feel self-conscious about being that? Wearing weave, wearing finger waves, wearing relaxed hair. You really think you less black because you wear relaxed hair, because you wear finger waves, because you wear European hairstyles. It's one thing to wear weave and extensions and let it take over you and let it brainwash you to an extent where at the end of the day you walking around here and you don't think you're black. But our hair, most black hair is very fragile. That's why there's a such thing as protective hairstyles. Out of all the textures, when it comes to ethnicities, when it comes to our hair, when it comes to black hair, we have some of the most fragile hair when it comes to hair strands. The way our hair grows out of the follicle in a coil, curly. It dries out faster than any other strand of hair. We're not like Sally, where our follicles produce more sebum, more oil. Okay? So every person can't wear braids all the time. Every person can't wear afro all the time. So if people want to tuck their hair away and protect it for whatever reason, if they want to wear extensions, if they want to wear a wig because they're trying to protect their hair and they're still trying to do the things that they need to do in life or want to do in life, maybe it has nothing to do with work. Maybe they just like wearing wigs like me. I love wearing wigs. I've been wearing wigs since I was 14 years old. And the evolution of wigs has changed tremendously over time. And I'm here to tell you I'm a spokesman and a candidate, and I'm here for it. And for me, it will be something that will never change. But that doesn't make me less lovable. That doesn't make me less black. That doesn't make me less smart. Because that's something you choose to not do. People need to stop mobbing people into what they're going to do and what they're not going to do with their body, with their hair, with their mind. Telling them what to do with their body. Telling them what to do with their hair. Telling them how to think with their mind. You want somebody to respect you even in the small sense, but you're not even giving them the free will to make their own decisions. morals do have something to do with free will. Free will has something to do with morals. It go hands in hand. You can't tell someone how to live their life and then expect them to make the right decisions, especially decisions for themselves, and then expect them to be good. Give people a chance to do good. Give people a chance to think for themselves. Give people a chance to do something that you would not do, and you use your mind to see the perspective on why they do the things that they do. Now, if it's for a bad reason, then we would sit down and we would discuss and we would talk about that. And hopefully we can talk about it and discuss it where it doesn't put us in an even worse situation, but we can find a solution for it for everybody. People are still individuals at the end of the day. When you want to talk about the collective all the time, nothing's wrong with that to a certain extent. But people are still individuals at the end of the day. People still have minds. People still have free will. It still exists right now. And so don't tell nobody you care about them if the only way you approve of them is if they do what you want them to do. If they think the way you want them to think. Especially when everything about you and the things that you do and the way that you think is not perfect. Does not run smoothly on the clock every day. Everything about your ideas and the way you carry yourself does not always show up on time, but yet you want to tell me how to live. Maybe sometimes a lot of people fall because they were too busy conforming to other people's ideas, not because they wanted to do them. Not all the time because they were ignorant, because they just wanted to have a little peace. And you still end up not having peace at the end of the day if you cannot be free. So that leads back to doing what you feel is best for you. Yes, listen to people. Yes, give homage to people. Yes, give credit where it's due. Yes, learn from the kings and the queens and the people throughout history that made things the way they are to be today. But for anything to move forward, you have to be able to think for yourself. You have to be able to think for yourself. That is a part of having freedom. Being an individual is not always, being an individual, you can't always worry about what everybody else thinks. And the way everybody would do something. That's why one of my sayings is, my saying for this brand, Southern Shook. Be you. Be great. Be good. You have to be you. You have to be great. You have to be good. You can't be anything else. If you don't live your life by anything else, if you don't remember any other quote, you can get up every morning and live by those three things. Be you. Be yourself. Be yourself. Because why? Because you can't be anybody else. And God made you you for a reason. He made you you for a reason. There is a purpose inside of you. There is plans inside of you, within you. That you have everything that you need to fulfill those plans through the grace of God. And through the grace of God, through His mercy. And if you walk forward and you move in those plans and you have faith, he would give you hope to do the things that you need to do to be successful in life. Not only for the benefit of others, because he has a plan for you. He gives you a gift not just for you to give to yourself, but to give through others, through him. You are a tool of his handiwork. So be you. What he gives somebody else, what he blesses somebody else with, he gives them a gift that is not the same gift that he gives to you. Even if the gift is somewhat similar, even if a person teaches and you teaches, they will never teach the way that you teach, and that person will never teach the way you teach. You will never teach the way they teach, and that person will never teach the way you teach. You may do hair, that person will never do hair the way that you do hair, and you would never do hair the way that person does hair. But if you are passionate and you really care about your gifts, and you yourself at the end of the day, and you want to be the best that you will be excellent, you will excel, you will be great at what you do, and you will stand out from the others. It's enough of the pie to go around. Everybody can get a piece of the pie when it comes to the goodness of God, when it comes to the gifts that he gives us, because the gifts that he gives everybody as an individual, they can benefit the collective, as long as we are given the freedom to exercise and express those gifts and do what we need to do that we feel is best for us at the end of the day, as long as it's moral and it's good and we have good intentions and we mean well. So be you. You have to fight right now to be you. But being you benefits others as a collective, because it encourages them to be them. And if they are themselves in their unique manner, when it comes to being an individual, when it comes to having freedom, when it comes to being good, having morals, that helps society. That helps your community. That helps future generations. That helps children who are going through struggles and trials. You motivate them to be leaders. And if they are not meant to be leaders, you help them to follow in good footsteps, in a good path, in a good direction, at the minimum. And even if it's at the minimum and something like that, it is so sweet, it is so pure, it is so concentrated that's all you need is a little drop. To be you is to be authentic, to be original, be good, do your best. Like I said, I want you to believe in God. I want you to have a relationship with God. But maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you feel like that's not for you, to be religious, to be spiritual, to have a relationship with God, but still try to be moral at the end of the day. I personally don't understand how you can be moral and not have a relationship with God. Not to be spiritual, not to get up every morning and live in purpose through a higher power. I don't understand that. If someone wants to sit down and help me understand it, I'm very open to do that. But with that, getting that understanding, that perspective, understand who you're talking to at the end of the day. You're talking to an individual who has a mind in Christ. And I've expressed 1,000 times that I may not be perfect, I may have flaws, but there is nothing that's going to change about that. I change. Change is inevitable. I'm going to always change. I was not the same person that I was 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. But that is something that I work and strive. That one thing will not change about me. If anything, it would change into something more fruitful, more abundant. That there will be more growth in me when it comes to my faith and my relationship with Christ. So understand who you're talking to when you come to talk to me. about that subject. And we can talk in truth, respect, and love. But make sure when you come to talk to me, you have that understanding. And even if you don't love me, when you want to talk to me about that topic, I will give you love. And I will give you respect. And we can sit down and we can talk about our two different perspectives when it comes to that subject. And we can talk about the things that matter. Be great. Be you. Be great. Be good. Those three things. Be you, be great, be good. You have to be great. You could be mediocre. But where's the fun in that? Where's the challenge in that? Where's the change in that? You have to be great. That's the only way you're going to stand out. That's the only way you're going to make attention where the eyes be on you. Where if somebody didn't want to change, maybe they would change because you did something so immaculate. You did something so different that people could not take their eyes off of you or it or whatever that may be. You made a change. So that is why it is important to focus on the things that you need to do when it comes to you. You do you. You let other people be them. Why is that important? Because when you do you and you let people do them, you give yourself the opportunity to be you, to be great, to be good. You give yourself the opportunity to do what is best for you. You give yourself the opportunity to have the freedom that you need to have as an individual. You will belong in your own right, even while being an individual. You have to fill your own cup before you can fill somebody else's cup. You have to look at yourself and focus on you, so at the end of the day you can look and see that the cup is always half full, not half empty. Because when you give to everybody else and you worry about what everybody else think, you're gonna always think that the cup is half empty. Because you're depleted, because you're thirsty, because you lack, because you don't see inside yourself. And if you thought enough of yourself, you would know that everything that you need is inside of you. It's not that you don't need anybody else, but if you see what is inside of you, you will attract the things that you need for you. You will attract the people that you need for you. When it comes to times where you may need help, when you may need love, when you may need support. So, that is what was on my mind this morning, doing the videos on the fly. That is what I decided to talk about today. I'm always open to drinking different types of coffee. Don't really care where it's from as long as it's a good brew and it tastes good. I prefer ground coffee over the beans. But you let me know what type of coffee you like to drink. And And you let me know in the comments why you feel it's important to be yourself and to focus on you. Why it's important to fill your own cup before you fill someone else's cup. What lessons have you learned in life where you found out the easy way or the hard way that was important to do you so you could do for others? Do you agree with my saying? Do you agree with my saying? Be you, be great, be good. Let me know in the comment box, in the comment section, whatever you want to call it. Why is it important for you not to have the approval of others? Leave that in the comment section. And what are some situations in your life or experiences in your life where you learned that you shouldn't care about what other people think? You should care about what God thinks, what you thinks when it comes to the things that you want to do in your life. Let me know a time where you learned that lesson. I love you. Be you. Be great. Be good.